What Hamilton has just said to Ferrari has sent shockwaves through the paddock, because it is not the usual carefully measured remark of a driver protecting his team. It is the blunt honesty of a champion who has finally uncovered the root of the problem. For months he has hinted, describing the SF25 as alien, talking about a car that forces him into driving habits that feel unnatural, about a machine that interrupts the flow that has always been his greatest strength. But for the first time, he has admitted he understands why. The revelation is as much about Ferrari's philosophy as it is about Hamilton's struggles, and it paints a picture that is as fascinating as it is alarming. The truth, as Hamilton sees it, is that the SF25 is not an extension of him in the way every great Mercedes was during his dominant years. Back then, the car was an ally, a tool sharpened around his instincts, evolving with him season after season, until it felt like a second skin. Ferrari's machine is different. It has been built on a philosophy born from years of development around Leclerc and Sainz, with sharp front-end responses and a nervous rear that demand aggressive reactive inputs. That might suit others, but it does not suit Hamilton's natural style, the smooth rhythm that allowed him to control races with precision and conserve tires while others struggled. Instead, he has been forced to bend his instincts, to fight the car rather than dance with it. For a driver who has always thrived on feel, that has been nothing short of torture. What makes his words so explosive is that they go beyond his own frustration. By admitting that the issue is structural, Hamilton has put Ferrari on notice. This is not about a missed strategy call here, or a minor setup tweak there. It is about the DNA of the car, the very philosophy that dictates how it behaves on the limit. Unless Ferrari address that, he will never be able to perform at the level that made him the most successful driver of all time. For a team desperate to end a title drought that stretches back nearly 2 decades, that message cannot be ignored. Hamilton has essentially drawn a map to the future. Adapt the philosophy, build a car that allows him to drive naturally, and the results will follow. Ignore it, and Ferrari risk wasting the greatest asset they have signed in a generation. That is why these comments have grabbed so much attention. They are not excuses, they are a challenge, both to Ferrari's engineers and to the tifosi who demand answers. Hamilton has made it clear he is willing to fight through the struggles, that he will never give up. But he has also made it clear that patience will not last forever. His revelation is a turning point because it shifts the conversation from speculation to certainty. The problem is understood. The solution is possible. And now the spotlight is firmly on Maranello to deliver. So, if you love Hamilton, Ferrari, and all the drama that Formula One brings, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and stay until the end of this video to discover every detail of what Hamilton has just revealed. What Hamilton has just said to Ferrari has exploded across the paddock, because it is not just another frustrated remark after a difficult weekend. It is the clearest and most detailed revelation yet from a driver who has spent nearly a year wrestling with a car that refuses to bend to his will. For months, he has spoken of the SF25 as alien, a machine that forces him to abandon the instincts that made him a 7-time world champion. Now, he has gone further. He has explained that he finally understands why the car feels this way. And in doing so, he has exposed the structural problem that Ferrari cannot ignore. He admitted that at Mercedes, every car was an extension of him, the product of years of feedback where his voice shaped the DNA of the machinery beneath him. At Ferrari, by contrast, he has been dropped into a car born from a philosophy that rewards aggression, instability, and a sharp front end, a philosophy shaped around those before him, Sainz and Leclerc. For Hamilton, who has built his career on rhythm, smoothness, and flow, it is the exact opposite of what comes naturally. That, he says, is the heart of Ferrari's problem. He described how this misalignment plays out on track, and his words are brutally honest. In qualifying sessions, he explained, the SF25 leaves him exposed because it demands snappy inputs that go against everything in his muscle memory. Every time he tries to find the flow, the rear snaps back at him. The car punishes him for carrying speed, and he loses the confidence that is vital for a single flying lap. Yet in races, when he can settle into rhythm, adapt his style, and play the long game, he can claw performance back. That is why he has looked stronger on Sundays than on Saturdays. The gap between qualifying and race, Hamilton said, is the proof that the issue is not his ability, but the car's DNA. Ferrari cannot expect him to keep fighting an alien machine if they want to see the best of him. They must build a car that lets him be himself again. What makes this revelation so powerful is the way it contrasts with his years at Mercedes. Hamilton recalled how through the turbo hybrid era, every upgrade, every evolution of the W Series machines was tuned around him. He was not the one adapting the car, adapted to him. That was why he looked so untouchable, why his rivals so often cracked under pressure, why he and Mercedes became the benchmark for consistency and dominance. He has now made it clear that he cannot replicate that relationship at Ferrari unless the Scuderia change their philosophy. And for Ferrari, this is both a gift and a threat. A gift because they now have the clearest blueprint possible from one of the greatest drivers of all time. A threat because it removes every excuse. They can no longer pretend the problem is bad luck, strategy, or adaptation. Hamilton has told them exactly what must change. He also opened up about the emotional toll, admitting that this season has been unlike anything he has experienced before. Call it volatile, a roller coaster of highs and lows where one weekend he feels reborn and the next he feels like a stranger in his own car. He admitted he did not expect it to be this unstable, but that through it all he has learned lessons. He said he is improving in races, finding confidence with every lap, but that it still feels unnatural at the start of each weekend. That unnatural feeling, he admitted, has been the hardest part to swallow because he has spent his entire career relying on instinct. To have to fight against those instincts every time he steps into the Ferrari is exhausting. And yet, he remains optimistic. He said he now understands the problem. And with that clarity comes hope. He told Ferrari that 2026 must be different, that the new regulations are the chance to reset, and that he will not accept another car that forces him into alien habits. The tifosi who filled Monza with deafening chants and seas of red have become part of this story too. Hamilton admitted that their passion gave him goosebumps, that he has never experienced anything like it